A question I frequently get asked is, what can you use when you have a small space and you have a lot of things to organize? That's what we're going to go over today. Hello, welcome back to The Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Burke, and I love bringing you ideas for organizing, decluttering, doing upcycles, DIYs, and anything crafty. I've got a lot of DIYs coming around the pike, so make sure you've hit that subscribe button. But today I want to talk about one of my favorite pieces of furniture for really maximizing your space and organizing, and that is the simple bookcase, bookshelf, whatever you want to call it. The ones that are behind me are just the cheapest ones that I could find. I got them on Amazon. A few years ago, they were sold as sets, so I think I got all three of these for under $100. Regrettably, those same ones on Amazon now are a lot more expensive, but I did notice that the prices at Target and Walmart are starting to come down again, so hopefully the prices will come back to normal. Brand new ones like this are going to cost right around $30 to $35, but you guys, I see bookcases being given away all of the time. Check your local Facebook marketplace. Check to see if your area has a next door or an offer up. People give things away all of the time, and I actually see these on the curbs. So if you see something like this and you're looking to maximize your storage space, grab them. They are super easy to upcycle to make them look nice and new again. It's really inexpensive to buy small sheets of board that go on a wall, like wainscoting or paneling, inexpensively. And you could use this on the back of a bookcase if it's not very strong or square. So there are really a lot of ways that you can upcycle and strengthen bookcases to make them fit your needs. But here are some genius ways to use bookcases in your space. One of my favorites is using them as a space or room divider. Because you can always paint the backs or cover them with paper, you can really make these look like a wall and separate areas. With just a little bit of trim around the base, you can even make these look like they're built in. I've used bookcases with my hall tree to completely separate my living room from my bedroom. So don't be afraid of letting a bookcase float right in the middle. You know where I have some? These bookcases right here are just floating in the middle of my garage. They are just literally right in the middle of the space. I have 2x4s drilled through the top to make sure that they are squared and level, and if we have a little earthquake, they're not going anywhere. And then I have more bookcases over here on the side. If you're interested in seeing my full room tour and how I made this space out of bookcases, I've got that link down in the information below, so check that one out. Another thing I like using bookcases for is for storage for shoes or even little wardrobes. By just moving a shelf down and installing a rod, you can use this for dress-ups for kids, but you can also use them in your own space if you need to create more storage by just adding a few extra shelves, and I've talked about how to do that in past videos as well. You can really maximize the storage in a closet so that you can store a plethora of clothing, shoes, boots, scarves, hats, whatever you need. Now, this idea is probably one of my favorites, but that's probably because I'm partial to the piece, and that's turning a bookcase into a hall tree. I've seen other creators do this and turning it into an area for their mudroom. By removing some shelves and adding a stronger back, this could be done with just a little sheet of plywood. You'll have an area that you can attach hooks, have those lower shelves for shoe storage, still have cubbies underneath to store those hats and gloves and things, and have shelves along the top for your hats. This can look like such a beautiful built-in piece, and all it was a little bookcase that had a little bit of adjusting to it. And don't be afraid of decorating that back. These bookcases, all I did was remove the shelf. I got some inexpensive paper from Hobby Lobby and I just put it along the back with some spray mount. The nice thing with this is I can change my mind at any time, and you guys know me, I'll be changing my mind soon. I think I'm going to go back to the black and white. Let me know in the comments below what you think. But by decorating the back, you can really customize and make it fit your aesthetic, even change it out season to season, and only have to invest a couple of dollars in that project. If you have a kitchen that is laid out and you just need more storage and counter space, get 1 or 2 low bookcases at a countertop. This not only would give you a seating space behind the counter, but if it's up against a wall, you would have more surface space and all of that storage underneath it. Once again, by adding a little bit of trim, you can make this look like a built-in with just a few dollars. You can also put casters on the bottom, just support it with an extra piece of wood, add a handle, and you can create a pull-out pantry. This would also work great in an area where you've got crafts and you need some extra things. Or since I suggested using this for shoes, you can use this in a space that's really tight in your closet and have an entire pull-out area for shoes, clothing, and extras. This is one I saw and I like the idea. I just want to caution you. The way they show doing this can dispenser is they change the shelves. So a shelf sits with 4 pegs and they take the 2 front ones and lower them so that the shelf is at an angle. And then they just used a tension rod at the front. Here's what you need to be careful with. If your shelf is the type that rests on those pegs, that shelf is going to come sliding forward and crash down on you. This idea only works if you have shelves that have the notch on the bottom of the shelf and that notch sits over the peg. So as much as I love this idea, please be aware that there has to be something keeping that shelf in place. Otherwise, the weight is just going to make the whole thing slide, and I don't want anyone hurt or anything getting broken. But I really do like that idea. And if you are using it for shoes and once again have notches in the shelves, it's a great way to have things more visual. This was from my own space, and I'm still using this pegboard. I took the back of my bookcase, I added a pegboard with spacers behind it, and now this is my active tool area. So really think about different ways that you can use that real estate backing. And what's great about a bookcase is you can move it and you're not damaging your walls. This one's unconventional, but I really love it. Take your bookcase and flip it on its end. In this example, they used it as a sofa table, so you would have all of that hidden storage area inside for seasonal things or memory things that you don't need to get to. But when it's pressed up against the wall, it just is a wonderful shallow space for some decor, drinks, remotes. I love this idea. Conversely, using it in a sewing space so that you have more surface area along the top, this is perfect for bolts of fabric if you've got a sewing room. If it's a narrow bookcase, why not allow that to be a seating area with storage underneath? This is one I see used most often, especially with those IKEA Kallax bookcases. But while it's on its side, think about flipping it on its back. Get some casters and get some handles, and you've got amazing slide-out storage for your bed. Get some risers and you can really maximize the full storage capacity of the space under your bed and easily pull out and get access to everything. One of my top favorites though, take that bookcase and stack it. By getting a low bookcase and stacking it on a desk, a dresser, a credenza, a table, you effectively get a gorgeous hutch without the expense of having one. But you can also take inexpensive cabinets, put a bookcase on top, and really make it look like a custom built-in for a super economical, affordable price. This is a super popular upcycle from the IKEA pieces. On this example, it's 2 units, and I think these are right around $30 a piece. They took a shelf to put in towards the top, a counter piece, they've got a built-in desk now, and then they just took a beautiful piece of trim along the top. How can you go wrong with such an inexpensive bookcase, but it looks like something that was built in and intended to be there? So if you've got a bookcase lying around, Think of some different ways that you can use this. It does not have to be just on the wall with some books. If you don't have books, use it for other things. The fact that there's shelves and that they're adjustable means that you can customize it, and don't be afraid of cutting the back open. I have a bookcase in my kitchen and I got out my little jigsaw. I made 4 drill holes and I just cut out a space so that my microwave could fit into this shelving unit. This gave me the perfect place to create my coffee bar. This bookcase otherwise wouldn't have worked in my space, so it's okay to make it work for you. If I ever take this microwave out and I want it to be something pretty in a room again, it's super inexpensive, as I said, to get a new backing, paint it white, and put it right on the back, and no one will know there was a hole in there previously. And don't forget about trim. It was $7 for me to buy the trim and make these units behind me look super elevated. And all I did was cover the seam where the bookcases were butted together. It was one piece of $7 trim and it made this look so much better. Let me know what pieces that you've used, and I am ramping up to do some DIYs. The weather's starting to warm up a little bit here. If you're in snow, I'm sorry, but we are starting to get much warmer weather here in Southern California, so I'm really excited to get my hands on some DIYs and upcycles, so be ready to see those. Thank you so much to my patrons who support my channel and allow me to make these videos. Thank you to you for watching. It's Super Bowl weekend. I hope you have a wonderful, safe weekend, and I think Valentine's Day is Monday, so enjoy that holiday, and I'll see you in just a few days. Bye!